All right, story time on why I got banned from my goddaughter's school and why it just affirmed that my choice to be a childless queen is for the best for everyone. So my goddaughter is 15. Her name is Sophia. She is the light of my life. She is the star of her volleyball team, cheerleading team, star basketball player. I love her so much. She is the daughter of one of my very best friends, Crystal. And Crystal had her pretty young. And she also has a younger brother, Bentley, who I also love dearly. So they all live in Texas. Crystal and I have been friends since we were 14 years old. We used to be little hooligans. And our first job working at a hookah place was together. Many, many fun story times on that, which I can share. After Sophia was born, I had already started living in LA, and I would always come home to Texas whenever I'd visit, and I would surprise Sophia wherever she was. So the year that she started preschool, I came home for Christmas break, and on her last day before getting out of preschool for Christmas break, I decided to pick her up from the school and surprise her. The school was connected to a church. You had to go up all these stairways to get to the top area. They had basically what looked like a observation room to where you could watch your kid playing with other kids, these huge glasses outside of the big playroom, and then go in and you'd be like, oh my God, it's me, mommy's here. And the kids would be like, oh my God, it's you. And they would run out and you'd carry their bags and parents would chat and the dads would gawk at you. I go there and I am just observing her for a minute through the glass, and she's playing at one of those fake kitchen sets, which when I think about it, I don't understand why kids wanted to play like adults, because now that we are adults and we have to be in a real kitchen cooking, it is the worst. But anyway, so she's playing at the tiny little kitchen. She's this gorgeous Amazonian girl now. She's about 5'9". But when she was younger, it took her a long time to get her growth spurt. So at the time when she was 4, she was the tiniest in her class. So she's playing with this tiny little cooking utensils, and there's a boy that is probably twice her size. I mean, he was very, very, very tall. And she was over there, playing Betty Homemaker with a little skillet. And the boy walks up and he's kind of talking to her. And I'm like, oh, cute, like a little interaction with a boy. Next thing I know, I see him making these wild hand motions, like telling her to move. And she's like looking at him like, no. And then he shoves her so hard that she goes flying and falls on the ground and starts crying, and he takes up residence where she was cooking. Before the teacher was able to see or anyone was able to react, my ass ran in there so fast, like Captain Save-A-Ho. I was like jumping over tiny tables, dodging little children. I grabbed that boy by his dumb little plaid shirt and I was like, hey! And he was like, ah! He dropped the little utensils and I was like, I will haunt you until you're an adult, you little shit. Now, obviously, everyone has stopped in their tracks. I go over to Sophia. I scoop her up. She's like crying, but also like, Auntie Kat. I'm like hugging her. The teacher's like, what in God's name is going on? Again, this is a church preschool. The kid is obviously crying because some grown-ass woman just ran in there. And your girl got called into the principal's office. So my friend Crystal, her husband Adam, me, the little boy, let's call him Tate, and his parents, we are all in the principal's office, and the mom is going off on me. Like, she's like, I cannot believe you put your hands on my son, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, your son is a future Unabomber. I did you a favor, lady, because he assaulted my goddaughter, and clearly he is going to abuse women when he's older, so you need to get a handle on him. And Crystal's like trying to play mediator, and the principal's like, okay, we all need to calm down. And the mom is like, I'm pressing charges against you. I'm like, okay, girl. And then you can call me when your son starts killing birds in the backyard. Thank the goddess for my girl Crystal. She is actually a teacher herself for middle schoolers. So she's very good at diffusing conflict. So she was like, hey. She's like, Kat, stop talking. I'm like, yes, ma'am. She's like, can you just step outside for a second? Like, I just want to talk to the parents alone. I'm like, what? And she's like, just trust me. I've known this girl since I was 14. I was the maid of honor at her wedding. Like, I trust my girl. I leave. Maybe like 30 minutes later, they all walk out. And the principal's like, okay, we're all in agreement. Tate's mother is like looking daggers at me. They leave. Me, Crystal, Adam, and Sophia hop in the car. And Crystal's like, okay, so what did we learn today? I'm like, that we can tell that boys are going to be bad from a very young age. And she's like, Kat? I'm like, okay, what happened? And she's like, well, first of all, you can never come back to this school. I'm like, okay. Parents aren't going to press charges. And I'm like, okay. So because it is a very Christian school and they follow the Lord to a T, Crystal basically told her that I was her LA friend, had strayed from the Lord, and Tate's mother should have mercy on me and pray for me, because that's what God would do for a lost soul like me. Basically told her that I was crazy and got tempted by the devil. But I was like, okay, well, is Tate going to apologize to Sophia? And she was like, yes, we are working that out. Tate is going to understand what you did wrong, but you understand what you did wrong? And I'm like, yes. But you know what, guys? I have no regrets, because after preschool, Sophia, when she was in 8th grade, at Sophia's 14th birthday, which is in October, I happened to be shooting something in Austin, so I just made the trip over to surprise her on her birthday. I show up at her birthday party. You know, I'm talking to her and the other kids, and there's this one kid just looking at me, and he's like really staying away from me. Looks really just disturbed by my presence. And I'm like, Crystal, who is that kid? And why is he like staring at me like he thinks that I'm gonna cut him? And she's like, oh, that's Tate. And I was like, really? Interesting. Now I am older, wiser. I have matured. I now know that we don't always need to use our hands to get a point across. Women, we use our words as well. So he was getting some skewers at the buffet table, and I walked over with my margarita, and I was like, hi, Tate. And he was like, hello, ma'am. And I was like, do you remember me? And he was like, yes, ma'am. And I was like, I trust that you are being a perfect gentleman to ladies, treating them well, never, ever treating them with disrespect, putting your hands on them, or making them feel uncomfortable. Is that right, Tate? And he goes, yes, ma'am, that is correct. Yes, ma'am. And I was like, good. Keep it up. So his mother should be thanking me, because who knows where that kid would be ending up right now if I hadn't done what I did.